Happy New Year. Happy Mother Blanking New Year. I'll say it on my videos. All right, Big M, Mr. Hemi, Go Shura, the legendary John Boston, Megatron, BJ, Jawara, author of 27 books. Old Man Odin, good to see you. I just wanted to come and tell you guys, appreciate everybody over the last couple of years supporting one another. And I had some thoughts about our current state of the manosphere. And and what my thoughts are, what your thoughts are, and how it's helped you and where we see it going. And we'll talk about grifters and PUAs and all the different pills, but just kind of what you guys think and what's going on. Good to see everybody. Old Man Splitting Wood, the physical kind out in the tree forest. Jawara finally makes it. Pete Abraham from the UK. Good to see you, brother. Marty is back. Happy New Year to you. Carl, Shalom and Masala alaikum, brother. Carl on the East Coast. Good to see Carl. If you guys have any investment advice, talk to Carl. PH. Oh, Christian Henny. Hey, Rad. Happy New Year. Happy wife. Happy life. Yeah, I used to believe that. Fellow Mayonnaise Monk, keep the manosphere revolving. Primal Studies is back. MJSP 49 says Red Pill MGTOW is spreading all over the world. More men are separate themselves to dating, relationships. Marriage is a rigged system in favor of most women who want to trap men. Well said. What's up to you, brother? Old Christian Henny. Patriots One is back. Social media is harmful. Well said. Happy New Year to everybody. So here's my thoughts. I was just thinking of you, Rad. Happy New Year to you, Mysterio, from Winnipeg. So I came to this group, this knowledge years ago, 7 years ago, maybe 7.5 years ago. It was a different world back then. Let me explain. John Boston, Rad, help me. Ran into a woman today who wouldn't stop talking to me in the store. I almost turned into a chubby chaser. Not a good way to start. You got out of there quick before the kryptonite took hold of you, but I know that you would not have gone for the heavy. Guys, be careful as John Boston is being surrounded. Atlanta is known for swingers. Well, there's an area around me that's known for swingers too, with pineapples and flamingos. South by Northeast, Happy New Year to you. Tell me where you are from. Matthew says, I think the manosphere is in a good spot. Anytime things get shaken up, it meant change is coming. 20 plus years, we had to keep our mouths shut. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to Resabite is back. JT says, MGTOW keeping the truth of the red pill alive. I wonder, brother Carl's opinion of Jeremiah Babe, suggesting hiding money. I just love that Jawara watches possibly most of the channels I watch. I like the Prepared Mind with Big John too. Just ghost and ignore the NPC world, says Go Shura. We should always awake more men from age 12, even more. Young men should focus on studies, careers, money, and hobbies. We'll see in the future that more women are the ones that approach men. And women are proposing to men. What's that tell you? Well, old Christian Henny, one swinger couple said, happy wife, happy life. There's a lot of those guys out there. Durham, North Carolina. Have I been to Durham? I've been to Raleigh. Basically Raleigh. That's all I've been to. But hey, salute to you, brother. Singletown Bachelor. That's a fun fact. Rad. Check out Singletown Bachelor's channel. QS says, Happy New Year, Rad, and everyone. I guess anyone in the manosphere will come across dating coaches before anyone else. That's how the algorithm works. It takes a while before he finds out about MGTOW. Couldn't have said it better, QS. Stephen from Arizona, jumping in late. I came to the manosphere for Monk. I don't like the shift to PUA. Now females taking up 25 to 50% of the space. And we'll talk about that here. Pete Abram, I wonder how many more celeb divorces we're going to see this year where men will sadly come out worse. It's not over, Pete. Rad, ever since I was with that thick chick, Now the chubs smell like mortadella. Mortadella for 300 Trebek. Norway fireworks were lower than ever before. No chicks getting married these days. If that, I wonder, I wonder about that. I only keep 20 grand in the house. Everybody get to Jawara's house during the apocalypse. He's got the dough. It means women who are being lied to feminism, they regret it now and they want to be housewives and have a baby, which is too late in their 30s and 40s. Well said. So here's what I think. I think there's this there's this jockeying for power positions. Oh, I've got to have tons of subscribers, tons of views. I've never wanted that in my life. In fact, I know I'm shadow banned. I grow like 10 people a month lately, which is fine. I don't need more. I only thought that if I could help 50 guys in my life share my story, that's all I cared about. And it's great that more and more people are finding out about these channels. I do not do this for money. I do not want your money. I will buy you a beverage instead of you buy me a beverage. That's how I roll. We share. I don't want anything to taint this message. Now, is it wrong to receive super chats and money from people that want to give? No, but I don't seek it because I say to my men and the women listening, you take that money that you would give to me and you use it to invest in yourself. That's what I want to see. That's the greatest thing that I could give anybody, or I could receive from anybody, that your life has improved by following the experience and knowledge of others and the camaraderie. That's what I want. That's more valuable to me than anything, to see men pick up where their lives, fell off the wagon. Singletown Bachelor is funny. Check out Singletown's channel. MGTOW is where you end up and when you actually get it. JT. Women are upset with the manager because their tricks are all being brought to light. I love it. The cat is out of the bag. Matthew. Find things with a purpose. Well said. Hoodie Bronson. I'm the offer of a pamphlet. Good to see you, Hoodie. Where are you from? Jeremiah told us to hide everything on our properties. Yeah, I don't know about that. Singletown says, if I help one person to be a win, well said, brother. Samantha P, during the apocalyptic, that cash won't be worth anything. How much ammo and vodka do you have? Rice and beans for 300 Trebek. John Boston. B. Leslie's for 300. Fun fact, bad economy in Norway has gotten less motivation on female improvement and feminists. Could be said. Gerald Montagna, no notification. Sorry, brother. That algorithm's playing with you like nobody's business. I think you said awesome there, Primal. Rad, you're a high-quality product. Like you focus on viewers that care. Large channels pander for clicks and subscribers. Now, am I against, check out Primal Studies, channel fakes, D-Man for putting that up. Am I against big channels? No. Terrence Pop is a wonderful channel. His whole thing is to save men. There is nothing wrong with that. And if you want to contribute to him, great. Hammerhand's got a great channel as well. If you want to contribute to him, great. I personally just don't do it. That's not me. But others, I think, bring a ton of value. And if this is what they do for their full-on career and they give a ton of value, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't do that. People have wanted to donate me and I tell them no. Pete Abram, I wonder how many of men have lost hobbies. I would say the majority. We do things, we sacrifice. It's funny. Somebody said, I think, was it Hammer that said, we don't compromise? No, it was a guy on my channel. I got to find him. He Red Pill somebody. He laid it down in Chinatown. He said, men don't compromise. We concede. We concede to make others happy. We have to understand that. Compromise is not concession. You're well said about that, old Christian. Thank you for putting up Singletown Bachelor's channel. D-Man, we've got Noja Fury. Miss him? It sent Rad Stream to this guy who voted for Biden. He said, not all women are like that. Maybe not all women are like that. I'm not going to buy into that piece, but the majority are. Mawalt, majority of all women are like that. I made a new term up. Love the live last you had about your story, 20 years of marriage to divorce. Man, tough story to swallow. Manasseh, thanks for commenting. I just want to share with others. That's it. You know, I didn't have a negative experience in marriage. I had a positive, I had a negative. I had some good times, I had some bad times, and how it ended up is what I'm trying to help men to understand. It happens to everybody. And what you try to do, how to try to live, the lessons you learn, how you want to move forward in life. You can let it help you or you can let it destroy you. Took me a while to understand that concept. Females don't like men having hummus. They start drama if you go to the gym. Rad, you cannot possibly know the positive significance of your channel. You save lives, man. Thanks, brother, but I think we all help each other. And people in this chat have been instrumental in me. And it's funny, I love to hear from small channels. Small channels, to me, are the most important channels. They're the most authentic. They're the most real. They're the, you know, you take a look at channels like Red Mind Man, Chris Mitchell, Brandon Trueblood, Slam Cave. There's so many good channels out there. Scotty Side, Go Shura, Billy the Goat, Singletown Bachelor. And it's just, it's not the fact that these channels are trying to get money. We're just sharing, you know, knowledge. 5 Years of Freedom. Wes from 5 Years of Freedom spits out a lot of talent. FJT, young guy, 30 years old. I don't think he's 30 yet, but he shares voicemails. He's actually showing you in real time what the majority of women are like today. Steven says, money is for the poor. I have at least 220,000 rounds of ammo. You are prepared, Steven in Arizona. Let's see who we got here. Megatron, Terrence Pop, just me, maybe the next Rogue Rambo. We love Terrence. Him and I did a collab, and I thought that was great. Full Spectrum he is definitely obsessed with Kelly. Get prepared, do your work, and have fun. Is that what he says? RP Pope, howdy to you, brother. Tell me where you're from. Rad, do you think the original Rational Male is really a MGTOW book? It's got, you know, it's got some nuggets of wisdom. I'm not going to bash that book. I think it'll help men. Where it leads you to, it could be something more of a PUA book. I don't know. I watched many Richard Cooper vids initially. Then I saw a Rad's 5-minute video in the related vids. Thanks, brother. I watch Richard Cooper. I think that Richard Cooper has, at the time of my life, I think he's got some solid knowledge and wisdom. But again, his channel has morphed into something different. More than 90%. Check out RP Pope's channel. D-Man, putting it up. Thanks, brother. Here's my contribution to Rad. Thank you. That's all I care. You know what I care about? You take this knowledge and you help another guy. Push it forward. This is why we do what we do. This is why I get on live streams. This is why I make little videos. What can I do to help myself by still remembering this and to expand this wisdom so men become better? My ex-older sister was abused by her dad, is now having a kid, including prepaid mom care. Any thoughts, Rad? Damaged. It's going to be very difficult for her. That's women that are damaged hardly ever recover, and they make bad decisions. Gerald, we're taught happy wife, happy life. We are. I try to live that. Absolutely. Watch my story, and I did try to live that. I had a chance to become a professional in my hobby when I was a kid. Mom said nope. She was first to destroy my character willingly. Interesting, brother. You sound like you're English from the word mum. Watching Rocky 3 while lifting weights, followed by Guinness in my New York strip while listening to Agnostic Front. Good for you. Iron Maiden. Don't need Bruce Dickinson. But I love the fact that you're listening to one of my favorites, Adam, Agnostic Front. I love me my punk rock. That's our MO to better others on the family. Well said. Big M says, no woman can touch my hobbies. I'd rather DIE. Big M. Polska's back. He's not waffling. He's delivering. Pizza or burger, says Pop. I would say burger today. There are very few happy wives. Check out Polska's channel. He usually does wonderful late streams. If you're awake, catch him, especially for the European folk. I guarantee you'll catch him every time. No wife, no strife. Hypergamy has to be a vicious teacher. Hypergamy is a wonderful teacher once you embrace it. Every single hobby and passion I have, cars and GUNS, women pretend to be like in the beginning, but at some point it always becomes a wedge. Well, once you give attention to a hobby, it takes attention from them. It's nothing more than programming. Simple as that. There's a new chameleon named Torsia making money in the manosphere. I'm not a fan of women in the manosphere. Now, are some women legit and say, yeah, but what is their intention? A manosphere is to share from men's perspective. I don't understand how women can share from their perspective. They can comment, but they really can't put channels up understanding man's plight. I would agree with that statement. Oh, I can't read it. I don't want the algorithm to stop us. My dad had a backbone made of jello. So many men have that, Gerald. And that's why we're here to help those men that either haven't had fathers, have had abusive fathers, or had wimpy fathers, or are reformed simps. Men helping men is awesome, but many are starting to ask for $500 an hour. Call me, think those types care about money than men. Well, there's a lot of guys that think that their wisdom is worth value. Help others by giving away free advice. Help others by sponsor or shouting out to other channels. Help others by saying, being humble. That says, you know what, I've been through this. I know what it's like. This is why I want to be here. I want to help you guys. I want people to help each other. I'm tired of the grift. I'm just tired of it. If you want to donate, that's different. But when you constantly ask for money and constantly put up your consulting fees and so forth, I don't agree with that. I just don't get how red pill guys preaching LTRs aren't blue pill. Lavish Patch Kid. Good to see you, brother. Well, they're everywhere. Ain't it grand to know how many women are going to die single alone by 2030? Hypergamy, which is another word for greed, was their downfall. Well, we're in the downfall, RP Pope, as you know, of society when women aren't co-pilots to men to build families and strong societies. We're way past that now. Brotherhood is family, and I know this because we look out for each other. But yeah, most of the guys, especially you, Megatron, have been on these channels and chats all the time. This is what we do, right? I enjoyed your stream last night, Rad. It screamed midlife crisis. Now females reincarnate into someone we don't recognize. And you know what? We could call that a midlife crisis, Pete. And I don't want to say from my story that I didn't have any culpability, which I did. I'm not a perfect. I would say I was 60% of the problem. 40. Let's just say 55, 45. All right, just to be fair. However, women definitely have more challenges when it comes to the midlife. I think when age and the wall appears and the hormones come in, it doesn't affect men as much like that. And I think it comes down to programming. I think it comes down to so many different factors. Hive mind, medications. They see their friends getting divorced. You can't stop it. Marnie says, man up and be willing to roll the dice with her. She's not that attractive. She's good for a throw. That's about it. When you go red, women become toys. Kenta Wilson, good to see you, brother. Right? When you really understand this, you can look at the package and know that the contents do not look like the package. You guys, when you see a commercial for a wonderful meal at a restaurant, you know how let's say a burger. Carl's Jr. does the burger with all the Paris Hiltons. Those burgers are not even real food. They're fake. So the package does not equal the contents. That's what I'm trying to say. I love being more freedom from idea of no debt, no kids, no child support, no divorce, no abusive. Not being labeled abusive. Attaboy. RP Popes from Arizona. Well, we'll have to get up and meet up when I'm down there with Timmy. Lucifer is reigning free on this planet. Ninja, please. If you believe in good and evil, you would be absolutely correct. She's not yours, and it's definitely not your new year. Some dating coaches charge $500 an hour for private discussion. I've heard some guys charge over $1,200 an hour. I know even Matt Cross is getting old and outdated. I don't know who Matt Cross is. I think a lot of the original Red Pill channels like Cooper and Roll are stuck stupid. The Red Pill never took in them. Well, I think their audience is different. Their audience is seeking how to have relationships. Any female family member can recommend dreams and aspirations. Same with sisters. Same with mothers. Same with wives. Same with neighbors. Same with friends that are women. Today, CJ was saying that women like Perla think shouldn't be doing Red Pill. He was lamenting her bad decisions to agree to date Hafiz, who destroyed her. He compared her to the Glass Jaw Joe. She's definitely got, she's high up on the algorithm because she's probably female and she's in the space. D-Man putting up our lifeline. Appreciate that, brother. Couch dating. Pickup artists are getting a bit like old Zoomer days. It's no use in the long run. There you go. Samantha says, my husband and I share hobbies. We're building and racing drones, kayaking, fishing, night sky watching, fish tanks. Last year, he quit his well-paying job to chase a dream as a business owner. Well, I'm glad you stand beside him. I've seen you in multiple channels, and I think you're legit. We have a couple gals that attend. Thanks, D-Man, for putting that, or Ghost for putting D-Man. Well, for shouting out. Yeah, we do have women that do follow these channels. There's several that have emailed me, and not all women are like that sometimes, but the majority are. White liberals have ruined America, their cesspool lifestyles, and freeloading off of American taxpayers. Hakeem the Dream, good to see you. But I'm not normal, to be fair. Attaboy. You're absolutely right, Hakeem. Hey, Rad, I haven't been able to catch your live stream. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you, Tristan. Tell me where you're from again. The New Year's, let's say you women were right, and that's why men are learning from you. I just think, I mean, some guys are realizing that relationships don't work. I mean, it's funny. I like Wes's stuff because Wes is talking about most men do improvement for others, right? He's got a video today, self-improvement versus other improvement. Most men do the other improvement. 99% do things for other people. They go to the gym to look better for other people. They buy things that they can't afford for other people. And he also mentioned that relationships are to basically snare people into a trap so they don't have relationships with other people. And when you really think about it, it's absolutely right. Shout out to Wes from 5 Years of Freedom. I wish men would stop contributing to women in the manosphere. It's like simping undercover. It's clandestine simping. Would you agree, Jawara? This info has been open source from the beginning. Yeah, when you say that we're open source, right? How do I deal with hair loss? You get a razor and you shave that mother. That's what you do, my friend. My buddy was running rotation. Billy Kidman, tell me where you're from. Started watching Richard Cooper. Now he's moved into the home of a single mom of 2 kids. I don't want to read to the left. Demanding money is a grift. If you want to donate, I don't have a problem, but don't ask for it. This year will bring more divorces and more men learn. There's a lot of folks, and one of my favorite content creator is just continually ask for it, and I've been turned off lately by him, so I don't really watch it anymore. And the fact that he once was a humble person, but he's not humble, and he won't mention any other creators on his channel. It's to me that taints your message. FJT's channels put up by D-Man. Red pill that desire poontang are purple, and purple pill always return to the plantation. Monk is the only logical path in my mind. And you know what, Stephen? A lot of guys go monk. That's okay. Is he at least saving money and wrapping up? Tell him to save that money and wait for the next lady. A lot of guys are saying no, that's for sure, Christian. You can stop it by not playing. Yep. Best way to win the game is to not play it. I like Richard Cooper, but there's no way I would pay him $1,000. My men's team wouldn't even charge anyone. I bet your buddy will pay him, John. That's with the Mastodon. I only watch one content creator who encourages LTRs. That's 33 Secrets. All the others are total anti-LTR. CGA is strictly go to the junior college with the fistful of 20s. Well said, Gerald. I watched Matt. Billy, I've seen 2 episodes of Breaking Bad. I don't know. For some reason, I couldn't get into it the time I looked at it. Lavish MGTOW is where you end up when the red pill acutely takes the plantation, or where you end up or remain when it doesn't. Yeah. Cooper takes the 4K. 500 to 1,200 red pill coaching escorts are the same price. One of them seemed like a better use of money. I bet that Andrew Tate is fighting for Greta. Who knows? That's interesting little dynamic there. Hey, Rad, Happy New Year to you, AZ. Peace, quiet, and freedom. And he's wrenching my channel now. AZ, wrench, newest wrench. Enjoy these last days when Rad can read our comments, because sooner or later it'll be too many to keep up with. I'll just have to read one comment from each of you. That's what's going to happen. There's so much free red pill material, it's crazy to pay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Manasseh, Jedediah, but I think I've heard of him. Any goals this year, Primal? Well, my last child will be not a minor anymore, so I'm ready to rock and roll somewhere warm. Good to see my brother from SLC, Side Alone 801. We got to meet up sometime. Is relationships red pill? That is the question. Depends on what you define a relationship to be in. Blood, sweat, and tears only for those willing to love for internal validation. So many guys seek internal validation. It's or external validation. You need internal validation. I think I read that right, Easy. Chick who knows how to pretend, dude who watches Red Pill, going back to the plantation, they think they're pretending. Well, then you have to understand. See, I'm a believer in authenticity. If you're speaking a message but doing the opposite, I don't like that. You're well said, CGA or Joara. He does stream a lot, but he's also getting. I think Coach Greg probably gets anywhere from 700 to 2,000 a live stream, twice a day, 5 times a week. He's making some serious dough. And I don't. Let's see. Oh yeah, the other people talk. Yep. I don't have a problem with him doing it, but it's like, hey, bring on other creators. Like, share a lot of this information. Don't demand. Don't ask for this stuff. It doesn't look. I don't know. How about this? He's him. I'm me. And I'll never ask any guys for any money. If I want to make money on YouTube, I'll go get me a dog channel. Tristan from Whittier, North Carolina. Never been there. I don't know where that is, but good to have you, brother. There is nothing, almost nothing you learn from an HR personal call that you haven't already been told. I've got to go through some new HR training videos this year. Marriage and the concept of a relationship is like a McDonald's cheeseburger. Looks great on the advertisement. When you purchase it, you have a McReality. It's not what you made the transaction for. That's when you want the hamburglar to steal that burger from you. Well said, Pete. Been shaving my head for 25 years. Me too. Started shaving my head at 21, 29 years ago. Thanks, John, for shouting out. Want to improve your L blank? Send your non-gender qualitative fight. We know that you cannot win in a fight if you are Skittles. The state of the manosphere are more real in the outliers, not in state of the normie tradcon nightmare PUA delusion. Well, a lot of guys, it's an easy, guys, 99% of men are still seeking relationships that are having a very difficult time. It is a wonderful moneymaker for these guys because they know there's a lot of vulnerability. There's a lot of guys that want relationships. They don't want to be alone. They haven't learned the tenets of this philosophy that we speak. That is why we share our experiences so men can figure this out. Evidently, Hafiz first agreed to have Pearl tag team with the lead attorney, but then he refused when he realized that the lead attorney would be able to defend himself much better. Interesting. Interesting. CJ needs the money for his new life in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, look, if he wants to hustle, but he's got a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience. I don't like, I don't want to call anybody a grifter, but I think that when you do things for the dollar, it taints your message. How about that? Dating is not the same as demanding it. Donating is not the same. Absolutely, Singletown. Yeah, when you ask for it, just say, put a link up. You don't have to ask for it. Guys, out of their kindness of hearts, will donate. A shot of whiskey. My dad has been pestering me about getting married someday for the last 20 years. He entered his 3rd marriage about 5 years ago and is already thinking about divorce. Just say, you know what, Dad? Good to have you. A shot of whiskey. Let me know where you're from. I'm watching you going through this, and I think if you can't do it, I can't do it. Hakeem the Dream. Look, and I love a lot of what CJ says. I'm just thinking, I feel like in the last while, several content creators are demanding more and more money or asking for it. Again, money is going to completely pollute the message if you're asking for it. Now, if you write a book and you want to charge for it, wonderful. If you have a convention where you put a lot of income into it and you want to make a little, great. I have no problem with the hustle, but the hustle has got to be authentic. Shout out to A Shot of Whiskey's channel. Good to have you, brother. I got to check you out. My favorite McTell these days is Master Reese, but he's still too in the Poon slavery. Guys, remember the package typically when it comes to relationships and women is never what the contents are. You know, and I agree with the fact that getting in a relationship with these 98% is not recommended. Might as well pay for it. But I just look, if you're seeking it all the time, you're off your purpose. Send Minum Mice Mud. Good to have you. Tell me what your friends. Send Aaron 500 so he can tell you how to be a minimalist. Giving me a break. No, I can tell you for free. These PUAs say that you can control a woman if you're an alpha male. Well, you can only control frame until you can't, and frame doesn't exist in family court. Greta Thunberg and Andrew, I'm just surprised he responded. You know, who cares what they say? Don't respond to stupidity. My father did similar, bro. Has been MGTOW since he came out of the womb until 2 years ago. At 34, when he met a girl from overseas, he fell head over heels. The marriage is already failing. When you put romantic love into anything, it'll fall apart quicker than a snowman in Arizona. It's a small town, Whittier. I don't know where that is, but good to have you. Authenticity, very lacking in the manosphere. And that's my problem with the manosphere. I feel like when you add money into the equation, when you think you are better at understanding life, I do this. People have emailed me. People will call me. I will give you my number. You can call me. You can email me. You can write me. If you need help, you can always get a hold of me, rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. The usury bucks. That's right. A steak is always precious than just a measly hamburger. Barely Good Tennis. Check out Barely Good site. Good to see you, Wes. Caught Hammerham's live stream. It was great. I was on it as well. He talked about it. People change or never will. Either way, sparkle water just isn't worth it. Oh, Christian Henney. My dad is also on his third marriage. We legitimately had to leave Christmas early because all the men were being ordered around like dogs. We couldn't stay. Sounds familiar. KTRK is back. The simpin is strong. Guys, I want everybody to subscribe to these channels. There's Barely Good's channel. It is crazy how so many of the divorce details that you shared on your last stream matched with my ex's behavior during my own divorce 3 years ago. At the time, I thought my ex behavior is stranger than fiction, but now I'm just realizing that it's the new norm. I just think this is what happens. Let's not fault him. Let's not be upset about it. Let's just realize this is what happens. This is the female nature. This is our male nature. Greg Patterson is back. You got to see me live. When it comes to relationships, all women are the same. There's no special lady or soulmate. Yeah, I don't believe in any soulmate. I don't think that's real. Good to have you, Greg. Greg's been around for a while. Dating someone new isn't worth it since everyone is normal of single moms. Yeah. Rad, your last stream was deeply authentic. Thank you for sharing. I see no grifter in you. I will rebel against defeat. That's why I put my channel up, AZ. Good to have you. You got to realize that we share with one another. What I do when I put these live streams up, the only difference between me and you is I've been doing this for quite some time, and I might have more experience when it comes to marriage, kids, cohabitation, have you. But I want to hear from everybody, and this helps me as well by staying on my path and my purpose and helping others. Are you from A Shot of Whiskey, Vancouver, or Battleground, or Richfield? I'm from Beaverton, Oregon. If the viewers don't donate enough to him, yes, he does play a video. I'm not into that. I think Kevin Samuels did that as well. If I don't get 700 likes, I'm not talking. That's I don't know. I don't like that behavior. Remember Angry MGTOW? I do. I was just talking about him the other day, Side Alone 801. Women are all the same. They just have a different mass. Some are prettier than others, but female nature remains. Patriots won. With your last son, with you going back and forth, are you looking for a place for him to be on his own? We got to figure out, Mysterio, where he's going to be. If he's going to college, if he's going to work. But I'm going to launch him. I'm going to get him launched. I won't make love for environment or Greenpeace. That, you know what? She's just part of the agenda. Let her talk. Just ignore it. If you're on a dating app longer than 3 months and your purpose is off, I'm not on dating apps because of Rad. Good for you. You can't find anything on dating apps. All the good gals are taken, if there are any left. That's true, Patriot. Any woman that says she's not is lying. Even ladies that are in some ways better than others have to fight that nature on a daily basis. It remains nevertheless. I agree with what you talk about on your channel. I've never been married, had a few girlfriends, no living together or nothing, anything like that since I'm Christian, but I've experienced female nature. Guys, I've experienced female nature growing up with 3 sisters and a mother. I just didn't know it back then. Oh, Christian Henny. Good for you, Mr. Wes puts out some good stuff. Fairly good tennis. Angry Mingtown made a lot of money before he ran. I think he got back with a gal. I believe so. Timmy Kramer, the legendary bachelor, just put some BFGs on my Toyota today. There you go, brother. BF Goodrich, attaboy. 20 inchers. Angry is around. I get him in suggestion. Interesting. I have not seen him for a while. I thought he was banned. Rad, you are more of a man than I can very be most because you are a tough mother because of what you went through. God bless your future and your kids are grown. You know, I know what guys are going through when they have kids and divorce and what it's like. I've been there. I know the hurt and the pain. I know we can all get through it. If I can do it, you can do it. My favorite quotes: the richest man is one with the cheapest pleasures, and there would be no games of chess if pawns refused to play. Well said, QS. Oh, Christian Henny. You can red pill the mind, but not the heart. Before I was blue pill, mind and heart. Now I'm red pill mind and blue pill heart. And that is why I'm monk, I'm weak, and would fall in love with a 304 again. Well, here's the deal. You got to think with your head. So you're thinking in the right place. There's nothing wrong with wanting the fantasy, but it just doesn't exist. It's not recommended based on the world we live in. My son's mother lives in Hillsborough. I live in Vancouver and have spent most of my days in Washougal. Washougal for 300. Used to drive out to Washougal, past that stinky paper mill. Anyone I've met with angry before the name has done that. I can think of a handful right off the top. What's with that? Rad, don't get married again. It's not in my future, guys. I don't think our women want masculine men anymore. They want men they can totally control. JT, you're right. I know I won't get married to the lie that is marriage and investing in a dwindling lay. Let's just say, guys, the shiny new toy never ends up the shiny new toy. Toss her aside if she decides to. Married men are the further Matt Wallish. Guys, there's a lot of guys that believe in the fantasy. I don't recommend it. It'd be nice that you could get married, have kids, be in love. The woman could be part of your life and you could each help. It doesn't exist. That's the reality of what we talk about. One minute we're all scratching our heads asking where it went wrong. Then we discover it's female nature testing us. This is where channels like this educate. We help one another. Absolutely, Pete. There are Christians. The last one I had went to church all the time. We started going to church. I proposed and she said yes, then dumped me. Christian women, my friend Tristan, are some of the most 304-ish and the most dangerous hive-minded women out there. I had my dad read The Manipulated Man. I could see him almost break through, but the blue pill still has him. Well, he's probably in his 60s, right? And those guys are very difficult to get past this. I don't know if he has his channel anymore. What are your sons leaning towards career-wise? I think they should get some sort of certification. Yeah, my son wanted to be a pilot. I think both of them are kind of salesy business types, so we'll see where they go. I would like them, if they got a certificate, be in some sort of technology or accounting or something. The manosphere needs to get back to the basics, such as why no marriage, why no investment in romantic love, why no collab, but we need to put it in bold detail. You're absolutely right, brother. You're born in misery. You don't have to die in misery. Creston, British Columbia, just north of Sandpoint, Bonners Ferry. Good for you. KTRK. You have to admit, most people have never have heard of the red pill today. Most people today have never. I think, Timmy, you're saying never, right? I blocked Angry Maytel Sever. I believe he is a poser. I think he went back to the plantation, brother. Don't believe in gods when the world is overpopulated. Already married couples are hating each other. Yep. And a shot of whiskey. Scotty side is in Beaverton. You got to go hang out with them. No, Angry Minto got married in session. We do the same. Well, that blue pill is extremely potent. Brandon Trueblood, Happy New Year to you. Check out Brandon's channel. D-Man's before me. He's driving his truck. He's going his own way in an 18-wheeler. We just hung out this summer when he was going through school. Good to see you, Brandon. Be safe out there. Barbara Walters passed away. Can you believe it? Man, 93. Real churches have fallen completely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I married a Christian woman. Ancient civilizations that have disappeared always point to war, disease, climate. What if the simple answer is became feminine? Well, look at Rome, Stephen. You're talking what happened to Rome, the greatest civilization ever. I wonder what the media thinks about it. Any thoughts, Rad? The media is going to ride the blue pill subway to the moon. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, it's all a facade, Manasseh. Volunteering, hiding behind the Bible, but yet acting out in a complete Gentile culture. Church girls are consummate chameleons, says Brandon. That right there is gold, guys. You got to understand what he just said. They are massive chameleons. They hide behind the good word. It's like the media doesn't want to report about the real issues. No, they'll find ways around it. Now they're pushing older women like Demi Moore, how amazingly attractive she is for 60, making guys think that we should go after 60-year-olds. With a mother and 3 sisters, you think you should have an advantage when dealing with women. I do. I think my experience basically, this is what I do. I look past the packaging. What do the contents contain? And the contents barely ever meet the packaging. In other words, the packaging is a complete facade. The American media is reporting about real issues. Couples getting yeah, they'll say the divorce rate is low. Well, what's their statistics from that? I found out a new truth from my divorced older brother. Women like anything new and different. The manosphere needs to remember we are just shiny, silly distractions, disposable tools. Well said, AZ. Dr. Phil isn't making big headlines. Well, he's trying to fix marriages, and you can't fix them. Church is a PG nightclub for single moms, says Stephen. One thing that kind of irks me inside is that it seems as if all the plan by elites to reduce population, Georgia Guidestones maybe, specifically whites, I just see many using manipulative women to do their bidding. I would agree, Samantha. And you're a woman. What advantage with a Christian woman when things were good with your ex do you think you had in hindsight? Well, I know she liked she liked Christ, but I think her behavior did not follow her words. I was crazy about her and I thought I could trust her. She told me she would always love me. I found out you can't trust what a woman says. Never believe what a woman says, but the actions. I'm going to say that again. If you want a woman, never believe anything they say and less than half of what they do. I've seen a ton of red pill content, but I found Rad, Replicant Fish, and it's complicated to be the most consistent and instructive. Well, I appreciate the shout out. I do like Replicant Fish as well. They look insane, Jawara. These women look, you just look at them, you're like, what the F did you do? And it's everywhere. Fillers, Botox, lip injections, extensions, fake eyelashes, snuffleupagus. And they parade it around like it's, I don't find that attractive. I think those Kardashians, how made up they are. I want to see what they look like without makeup. When the number of getting into marriages is low, you will get low figures, says Singletown. She is a gyno. Something in nature. Christian woman in name only. Def Leppard has a song called Action. Give me action, not words, off of Pyromania. You're well said. Not at all if you have a mother and 3 sisters, that means you're just more easily manipulated. I would watch my dad was tough, but I could see a lot of female nature. Now that I go back and I remember life, it's there. Female nature is more acceptable when you understand the consequences of what can happen should you involve yourself. Women are beautiful, but at a price. Guys, that's Solid Gold there by Pete. When you understand this, you can navigate life accordingly. This is why I do my channel. I believe that the red pill is reality. The blue pill is fantasy. The blue pill says the next roll of dice in the casino, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to win this hand. You know what the reality is? The hand wins. You lose again, but you still think you can win because you got that dopamine going on. And a lot of men that meet new women and have that new experience of a new date, they get that dopamine fix and they just go straight into the fantasy. But once you understand the packaging is not the contents, once you understand how to navigating life by understanding females and understanding their nature and their programming, which is not good or bad, it just is, you can have a great life. I have yet to meet a man that prefers plastic over all natural. And great that you said that, Manas. I have no idea who is instructing these women outside of the Kardashians to go and paint their faces. I mean, so much makeup. How would you even kiss a woman with all that damn makeup? You'd be eating whatever's in that crap. Ugh. Oh, it just makes me disgusted. The smell of makeup, it comes off your... Oh, man. All of us women have to do is just go slow. No major moves with women, out of wins and fantasy. I'm not a fatalist when it says relationships aren't possible. They're not recommended. Look who the inventory is. I grew up with 5 sisters, divorced, 2 last married, 6 months. She took the cats. She took the cats and let you You can't win the game. The game is rigged. Well said, KTRK up in Canada. Women who take abortions, any thoughts? Stay away. Stay away from anyone that wants to delete innocent creatures, innocent children. Rusty Rivers is back. Check out Rusty's channel. Good to see you. After the relationship ended, I pretty much gave up on dating and started focusing on my hobbies, work, and keeping myself busy. And I seem to be happier single. Plus, I got my family too. Well said, Tristan. rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. Maybe D-Man will link it. Women are beautiful, amazing creatures like lions and sharks. Best admire from a safe distance. If you want to swim with sharks, you need to accept the consequences. I wish more people understood that, Stephen. If you want a relationship, understand the reality of them. Heavy metals in the makeup. I would agree with that statement. Like you said, a lot of us guys still hope with the last $10 they can win it big at the casino. Yeah, and a lot of guys still believe that. Makeup destroys their face. A lot of guys still believe that next roll of the dice, I'm going to win everything back. You're not. Pour some sugar on me. I love that song, Brandon. That was great. When they played Portland in '87, I had that tape, and they did 2 shows because it was the biggest selling tour, I think, in 18 months. So women towards us have more of a chance of lasting in the sense we won't just discard right away, right? Just know what you're getting into. That's all. And I think you know that, Mysterio. Huge please sleeve rejuvenation and tightening. I saw it on the billboard driving down to Salt Lake. There's my email right there, old Henny Christian. And it becomes easier being single when you see most of these women are all acting the same way. It's all hive mind. Guys, the women that dump you and you guys go and find, and guys that go and find another woman, it's going to be the same woman with a different name and a different color of the same hair with the same extensions. KTRK, don't drink the water. Don't drink the yellow snow. Don't drink the water. Having expensive hobbies helps you to prevent from simping. And having hobbies is very important for men. Working with your hands. Side Alone 801, I paint vehicles for a living. Makeup is metallic. Oh, there's so many metals in that crap. Fillers. How would it be good for skin? Unless you have 5 kids, I can't understand the need. Mysterio says, Rad, if you reverse your statement on 98% are not recommended, what about men towards women? I would think there's a lot of guys that aren't recommended. The only thing we have we have very similar programming, but most men won't. They will not allow that to enter their mind. They continue with the programming of the last 100 years. My brother has Asperger's and has 2 kids, yet he's a schmuck and act like any kid. Any thoughts, Rad? I don't have any thoughts on that. I just think that he's probably programmed. Women spend all the money if you want to open a business market. I've said that, Samantha. Thanks for talking about that. If you want to make money, sell pillows to women that make them look younger by the time they wake up in the morning. How many did you dump before they dumped you, Rad? Quite a few. I was dating like 5 chicks at the time. They were younger, and I dumped a lot of them to marry my wife. Makeup, aka fake up, witchcraft, very deceptive. Well said, Manasseh. AWOL means AWOL by JT. Isn't yellow snow more like dirty frozen Mountain Dew? That's funny. Could be. Rejuvenation and tightening have been embarrassing. When you have to think about that billboard. Let's say if you have 8 kids, that makes sense, right? But just even advertising it, I mean, have you seen a billboard that says you can lengthen your wiener? Hobbies are lifesavers that get us through tough time. It's important we have them. Well said, Pete. I think having good family relationships and friends and hobbies are all tied. Women as romantic prospects have to come in at 8 or 9. I think having good friends, a good relationship with yourself in the mirror, and good hobbies, and you're working on yourself all the time is important. Well said. New Manosphere meme, Spanky from the Little Rascals, don't drink the milk. It's spoiled. The Women Factory needs to put out more models than the basic Becky and the high maintenance Mandy. There you go. Yeah, we have 2 models. Thanks for your channel. I'm always in private detective mode 97% of the time. Rad 13-year-old girls are dressing like 304s. Absolutely. Guys, because it's transparent. It's accepted now. Apparently, they've changed the word of people that are blank files, starts with a P, an E, a D, and O. They're calling it minor attracted. They're actually switching the narrative. 13-year-olds have dreams to be porn stars. Go figure. Little Scotty Side, check out his channel. He's been doing a couple good videos about just like what Singletown Bachelor and Fast Act do. They kind of expose some of these TikToks. It's crazy. But that's the deal. The manosphere needs to be made up of authenticity. I think the manosphere, I think women contribution from women are good. There's several women on this channel and other channels I've seen over the last 3 or 4 years. I can name them that continually come. Some of them have children. Some of them want their boys to watch out for these 304s. And I think that's good. But I think a woman that has a channel, I am completely what's the word? Suspicious of why they do it. Brando and James Dean so revered. They're bad boys. They're bad boys. Stella and James Dean. Check out. I love James Dean. 3 movies. And I don't think he was friggin' Skittles. I think that came after. I was a film major in college, and I watched all of his films. And a lot of the photographs that he did, or pictures, they try to make him like he's some fashion Skittles, but nah, I don't believe it. Ads verify that most pea sleeves are blown out. Jawara, there you go, buddy. Scotty Side channel, check him out. Hey, I just learned the term ED for men all the time can make men that don't suffer with that. Unsure how true that is, but to be safe, I think erectile dysfunction with young boys today is due to pornography and weak testosterone. And there's lots of dudes that look really buff in the gym that watch porn 3 or 4 times a day. Porn is not good for your mind. It is not good. Marcella's back. Hey there, just watched your live stream where you talked about your early dating life and marriage. I enjoyed learning more about you, Rad. Well, thanks, Marcella. I hope you're doing well. And that story that I did was more about, my upbringing, what I went through, how I tried to save it, what I saw, in a follow-up with that, I also was culpable, and I take accountability and responsibility for my actions and what I did and didn't do right as well. So it's not about her, what she didn't do is right. It was more of a expose of female nature on my personal marriage and male nature, if you will. Yeah, I think women that have kids, I know Lisa Smith watches this. Marcella's been around for several years. So there you go. My 3-prong attack for me this year and going forward for the manosphere should be health, economy, and God. All things women despise. If not, just look at them all the time. Well, I think you got the first 3 things right. Health, economy, and God. When you have all of that you have everything. Justin, Deflanda, good to see you. How about them having furries? Well, some schools now are putting kitty litter in bathrooms, so these little furries can act like kittens. Again, enabling delusion. That's what's going on. Government and society is enabling delusion. Look who we have as a health secretary in the United States. Look who we have who's second in command for our nuclear program. Look who we have who's running our transportation department. The Skittles is alive and well. I would agree with that statement. I don't think you should post your kids unless it's a private Facebook for only private family members. The massive effort by elites to redefine language is massively disingenuous. Good red flag that the powers aren't on our side. Well said, Wes. Well said, brother. Yeah, they're switching everything to make it sound more palatable. My 40-year-old high school reunion is this year, and I'm terrified to see Timmy, you got to take pictures. You are going to have ladies throwing themselves at you. Yeah, Timmy Kramer, muscular, good-looking dude. He's going to have chicks all over him. You have got to look at all those hot cheerleaders from 40 years ago and return and report what they look like. Good 2-movie series called Life After Porn, parts 1 and 2. Interviews tons of famous porn stars now out of the industry. All of them condemn the industry and regret it destroys them. Yes, it does. There's a YouTube you can watch called Your Brain on Porn. It's done by a Colorado professor at a university who takes the ethical and moral, like the Christian moral values out of porn and just talks about the physical, mental, and emotional effects of it. It's very fascinating. Chicks who post on social media isn't very well managed. They're sick for attention. Yes, they are. Lots of women seek attention, guys. Can 100% confirm the kitty litter happening at my local high school? You can confirm it. Yep. I know in Oregon, my brother has a couple kids. He said in the junior high, there's kitty litter. There's also tampon dispensers in Oregon in men's bathrooms. Things like this are one of the many reasons I decided not to go in the education field. Well, it's all liberal. Absolutely. Hey, Rad, how often do you do live streams? When I feel like it. Maybe once or twice a week. People have caught onto the MAP thing. The newest thing in the younger sector is different. They have caught on. Brandon says political correctness is a cancer that we should have cut out back in the 80s. 100%, Brandon, 100%. Huge meteor shower tonight. Absolutely. My ex posted with abusive dad on Instagram. Any thought, Rad? Any woman that talks bad about a man in her life, typically a father or a brother or an ex, has massive red flags. Massive. Stay away. I used to think it was okay to watch if you were single, but now I'm anti because it's worshiping the poop. Yeah, guys, it is. We also have testosterone, so we have to figure out a balance in life. Yes, it's called Your Brain on Porn. Jawara. Billy the Goat's back. Good to see Billy. Check out his channel. Thanks, D-Man. I'm going to cut it out right now. This has been great. Remember, work on yourself. Subscribe and be participants in authentic people that are not tainting the message to grift you. Do not follow dating coaches or coaches that do the complete opposite, that put women center. Women should be co-pilots in your life. And shout out to those channel creators. Some of the best content creators that I participate in have literally under 1,000 subscribers. Some of the best. Now I subscribe to we have got great creators. We got Wes is over, 2,000 or 3,000. Dax got 6,000 or 7,000. We've got great content creators, and you don't need lots of subscribers. And a lot of the folks that go to the same different streams attend my stream. I attend their streams. There's several times where, Brandon Trueblood, I'll jump on unless I got work or something, and I'll ride with him for 50 miles when he's doing his truck. Every day, Brandon Trueblood does a stream as he's trucking. So, and be part of the channels we shout out. because that's what keeps us together. That's what binds us together. That's what brings our experience and our knowledge together. Do you know how many people had reached out to me after I did my stream yesterday, a couple days ago, about my life, and said they'd felt the same way. They'd been through the same sort of experience. And men are going to find out about that and other people's experiences down the road. And it's going to help guys to say, you know what? I'm not alone. Because most men believe, unless they know someone who's gone through a divorce, that they're not alone. But a lot of those guys that have gone through a divorce get remarried within 18 months. Absolutely, a shot of whiskey. Good to have you from Washougal. Where are the hats coming, Brad? You know, I was just thinking about that the other day. I've got to do some sort of like Cafe Press or Teespring or something where you guys can just go buy it. Just pay whatever the cost is. I care less. If you see me in town, you can give me a high five. Love doesn't exist to me. Love, like loving your child or loving someone for the core of who they are, romantic love doesn't exist. That's just me. Hi, Rebel. What do you think of the new wave of women entering the manosphere? Freeman, good to see you. Not a fan. Not a fan. I don't know what their. I think maybe some of their intentions might be okay, but I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious. I am suspicious of huge channels. Again, the audience for me is different. There's a lot of men out there that are, a woman's talking about it and she's got great perspective. What does Pearly Things have to bring? Has she been married? And I'm not knocking them, but has she been married? Has she gone through the courts? Has she had a male appendage and had to deal with false alligators? Eminem's a big simp, guys. Regardless of his music, he simped. He got back with his ex-wife. Rad, if you have a logo avatar, I'll 3D. Well, we'll have to check it out. Yeah, Billy, well, I'll send you an email. To me, it's all about actions. I don't believe so. You believe it? Nope. I don't believe in love. I believe in actions. I could care less what comes out of your damn mouth. So I'm suspicious of the gals in the manosphere. Again, my audience is guys that can relate to my experience and hopefully help younger guys. I don't relate to my boys today. They're in a completely different stratosphere. I don't understand the girls today. I can because my ex kind of went that route, and I've seen it with my daughter and I've seen it with others, but I don't understand what it's like to be a 21-year-old in today's world when all of them are now apparently sugar babies. Right? Billy can 3D off to check out Billy. We'll get together. Today, CGA said that he's the most real content because he's been through every single. Look, I don't knock CGA. A lot of what he says I've been through. Is he more real than me? I've been divorced. I was married before him. I've got one more kid. I've bought multiple houses. I've lived in several different states. I think that he's seen a lot of female nature being a basketball coach. And I think a lot of the things he says is great. But there's a lot of men like us. There's Terrence Pop. There's Hammerhand. There's guys on this channel that subscribe. John Boston's got more experience than CGA, especially dealing with courts. Now, it's not about who's got more. It's about saying you've got more and not attributing the fact that other men have gone through this. So my audience is men that have been through this, that have had kids. I relate more to them. Guys that are over 40, actually probably over 45 to 55 is where I relate. 55, 57, somewhere in that is who I relate to the most. But I also want to help younger guys not get into this issue that could potentially derail them for the rest of their life. And I still listen to CGA. I just realized that, you know what? I like guys that are humble and confident, that don't have to flex. I don't like flexing. I don't like channels that flex. I don't think that, like, look at, some of the creators that, it's just interesting. You are right to be suspicious. Honestly, I need to understand from a male perspective. Selfish in my world, good to have you, and to watch out for any foolishness my son may encounter. I think you, in my world, tell me where you're from, but you responded yesterday to some of my video. But it's good. It's good to have women here that are watching out for their kids. Don't women see it with other women? Women are the most competitive in nature with their own sex. I think a lot of guys have been there, but I don't think a lot of guys have had false alligators. They're just too young. I'm not a guy that says, I read everybody's comment that I can get through if my eyes continue to focus at my 50 years. But I will read everything, and I don't want a big channel because then I can't respond to you guys. T-Tox is back. Good to see T-Tox. When you've had your balls crushed by the system, then you know. And T-Tox has been through it, guys. Let's see, Pearly Things, because it seems like she comes out of nowhere. She also is somewhat young, so she doesn't have a long. That's the thing I'm talking about, without it being for the money. Has she been married? Has she had kids? Has she gone through the family court system? Does she understand what it's like to deal with? I've got 3 kids, a daughter and two boys. I've been around female nature my whole life. I have 3 sisters and a mother. Toronto, there you go. You're in Richard Cooper's area, in my world. Rad, was your ex-baby mama? No, my ex was, she did what she had to, but, would I trust her again? Hell no. But she did try to use some ploys out there that are not, I don't want any men to go through. David Smith is back. Good to see you. I'm still going. Marcella says, lovely feelings is just to drive procreation. I don't believe in love either. Well, Marcella and I have spoken about that. Love is, I believe actions are the most important thing. I think if you put actions first, you will have a greater endearment for that person down the road. Pete Abram, I agree with that statement. There are women like Lisa Smith, looks like in my world, that want to educate their kids. They don't want their kids to go through it. They see it. Health and wealth is where it's at, old Christian Henny. TJX lives for the sole purpose. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been through. I mean, the guy's been through a lot. Look, hats off to him. And I'm against guys that think they know what they're talking about when they don't. You ever been through a family court? You've been through it 29 months? You spent over 6 figures to defend yourself? Have you had alienation? Have you had false alligators? Have you had the popo call come up? Have you been discouraged? Have you been through the things? If you have, then let's talk. If you haven't, don't act like you have. Great tip, brother. Fixing your ex. They never loved you. If guys can understand, love is just, romantic love is lust. I do, and as Marcella says, it's that love feeling for procreation. It goes away. I do try helping others. 41 here. Starry Witch. Guys, if you're not mentally strong and aware of your worth, a westernized woman will stress you and kill your kindness until you become a monster. And men don't know how to deal with their feelings. Good to have you. Where are you from, Star? A smart man learns from his mistake. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. I'm a student of RP after hearing creator stories and what happened to my dad. My job is to learn. And your job, barely good tennis, Wes, is to help other guys. Be an example. Well, I don't know if she's been married. I know she's got a lot of brothers and sisters, comes from a big family. Am I knocking her? No. I think it's good to get this information out, but again, it comes down to experience. And maybe she gets people on her channel that have that experience. Elon Musk is definitely a simp. Nick Gomez says, in the 1950s, the economy was doing so good that they thought by the 2000s, only one person would need to work part-time. Interesting. Good to have you, brother. Tell me where you're from. Love is a sacrifice. I've seen men that women only love us conditionally. Women can only love their children and dogs unconditionally. Sad. I think you're right about that. Women love differently than men. It's as simple as that. Experience is where your red pill develops in you. Well said. A lot of the bigger channels are caught up in their own clout. That's another thing, David. I'm glad you said that. Clout chasing. Who cares? Are you helping men? Do you want to help someone just continue on this mortal coil? Or do you want to do everything for money and popularity? All these channels are going to be gone in the next 5 years anyways. The ham bone. Where are the women at? Where's the ham bone from? I looked really far into my history. I'm having a difficult time finding the new expression for maps. It's similar to SLGWB. All the letter spaces. It's funny. I was going to end it. Give me another minute or two. I'm getting tired. You need to go to bed. It's all right. I'm going to be ending it here in a minute. How do you stop feeling so lonely? Because it makes me want to get in a relationship. Loneliness is a skill you got to learn, Max. Tell me where you're from. You need to learn how to be good by yourself. And the quickest way to get out of loneliness is to move your body. Walk, go to a new restaurant, order a new thing off the menu, watch a new TV show at a restaurant. Get out. Learn to be by yourself. Go hike, go walk. You're not taught how to not be alone or to get over loneliness. You have to learn that skill on your own. And most men get into another bad contract after their divorce or breakup because they don't want to be alone. And then they experience everything again 2 times worse. Teddy Chalgren says, go to the gym. Right? But that's why we're here. Participate in live streams. That's another way. Justin Bieber has not changed. I know the answer might be obvious, but do you think you will date again? Dating is, again, I'm not opposed to anything, but I'm also awake to what my knowledge is. Being alone is the best. When you can truly appreciate what it's like to be with your own thoughts and not have to impress others, you're absolutely right. Are you really lonely, or are you being told that you are? Well said. Yeah, a lot of people are like, you don't have a girl, you must be lonely. No. Some of the greatest achievements were with men that didn't have relationships. Canada, we got some Canadians in here. There are actually some good resources for men online, ones that can help you give free advice for fathers going through the court system. I would agree with that statement. Yeah, Barely Good Tennis can talk to Max about what he did to overcome that. He's got a good story. Wes, I think you should do a video on that. Hobbies help as well. Marcella says, this is random. I'm so grateful for you. I've really learned a lot from you and appreciate how kind you've always been to me. You're a good gal, Marcella, and you're doing everything right. Hopefully you can find a nice, traditional, strong man. Don't Quit is back. Good to see you, brother. It's been a while. I divorced in 2010 and the internet, and I intend not to be married. I'll never be married. I will never live. I will never have kids. I will never raise anyone's kids. I will never cohabitate. But again, there is a 1 to 2% out there. In your loneliness, you build mental walls and become the best in 1-3 areas: looks, personality, or finances. You'll be able to pick any women. Work on yourself. Work on your property, your finances, as the story says. No singer from today's time could ever own up to themselves. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Nick says, I'm from California. Good to have you. I lived in California, Northern Granite Bay, Folsom. I fooled myself into thinking I needed a trophy wife. It was not the wise decision. Well, there you go from Brandon. Dating as in spending money or her company should not be first. If you want to date just to get to know people and you have no expectations, go for it. If you have an expectation you're going to get married and you're going to find love, you're in the wrong fantasy video game. Some of the greatest thing I have done are when I've been alone. I love being alone, guys. I love being 12 miles up in Park City on a bike by myself. Just me, myself, and Irene. What movie is that from? Date, yes. Marriage, no. Loneliness takes men to master, and boys give up. You're absolutely right, Justin. You got to own it and accept it. Pixie haircuts are all damaged, my man. Billy the Goat. My sat nav says if these backstreet drivers can't keep it down, we'll drop them off at the next service station. That should be a good marching orders for men. A trophy wife needs to be constantly buffed and polished, and they're always into themselves. They'll never be into you guys, and they're horrible in bed. All you seek the best in solitude. It brings us closer to the best qualities in ourselves. Happy New Year. I'm going to cut this off, you guys. You have been awesome. Remember, Happy New Year, move forward, share with others, and continue to participate. Look for authenticity, support our brothers that need us and those that will need us in the future. I'm out.